Hi everybody. Sorry, I wasn't sure if it was recording. I'm still not sure, but I'll go ahead and try this. So then after you get the collage pieces glued down and they have dried just a little bit, then you can just sort of turn it over and look at the edges and make sure that the edges are even. And from experience, don't try to do this while the glue is wet because it just gucks up your scissors. And your scissors then get glued shut, and that's never fun. I have never had fun with scissors that are glued shut. So there we go. And the next part is I take the color. I'm going to use the color here that is close to this napkin's background color, and I'm just going to go around the edges and blend in until the white is covered. Just going to go around the edges of the collage and blend it in until the background, until the white of the original paper, the paper that I started on. If you start with painted papers like jelly prints or mop-off papers, do not waste paint papers like that. If you start with that, then you will still want to blend the edges of the collage bits so that they look like part of the paper. And so that's what I'm doing here. On the original page, I did my best to blend all of this in with green and purple paint, which I love. I love green and purple paint, and I had that because of my haul. But for this time, I don't know why it just seems right that I should use this tan color. So that's what I'm doing. Now once I get the white colored, the white of the paper colored, then I can add some different kinds of marks on the page with paint or colored pencil or stencils if I had any, which I still don't have any stencils. I'll be getting those pretty soon as well. A little at a time. I have a little section down here that I'm not sure. I guess maybe I'll just fill that in too. And if I add a collage piece right there. If it seems right, then that's okay too. Okay, so I'm just going to use a paintbrush here because I just have a little bit of white paper showing still over in between these two pieces of collage. And I just want to sort of blend that in. And then there's just a little bit off the edge here. Of my Bank of Uganda. I still have all kinds of ephemera from my trip to Africa and Uganda, and so I'm going to be using that. And if you can mention it in the comments, that would be very fun. We could even have some kind of, if you see it and you mention it, what it is and where it is in the comments, then you would be a candidate for Happy Mail. That would be fun. Okay, so there we go. All the white is covered, and what I'd like to do now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this, but I'm going to try to blend some of the other colors going across the art. And to do that, I'm going to use some of this gorgeous green and some couple of other colors. We'll see what goes. So like on here, and I'll just get a tiny bit of white to go with it, I would just be going across. And the texture of the napkin is going to be a part of this, I see. So the texture of the napkin looks really cool with the white on there. It almost looks like, it looks very distressed and kind of like it's an old building, like an old building that has been through some years. So I'm just going to use that. And some streaks going across here. Again, it looks very distressed, and I like that. I like the look of that. Some of this reminds me of the striations in this area and this area of the napkin, and which I love. And another thing that I've noticed that Dee Willingham does is she will use a baby wipe, and she will get some white like this and sort of blend it around to make a misty kind of a look. So I wanted to give that a try. The tan paint is still kind of wet, so the white paint that I'm attempting to make a misty effect with is blending with the tan. If I wanted to make that white part stand out more, as if it were a mist, then I would dry the tan paint. So that turned out pretty well. There's lots of texture and wrinkling on the paper. I think I might have gotten it too wet at some point. So that's a lesson that I need to remember. This bicycle tire, I didn't notice it. Now it's getting covered up, so I want to go back in and take that away. Not sure about if I like it or not. I'm not liking it too much right now. I think it's kind of messy. I'll just continue with the striations. Hard to believe how fast that time goes. So this is part 2. I'm going to take a look at it and see if I even like it. And I'm not so sure that I do like it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. Please give me a thumbs up and share if you can.